you talk about this your team's overall composure in this game, and what was the finish like from your perspective?
Scary. The last couple games, last two games have felt like tournament games already. Obviously the NAU game on the road, we've definitely had some very tight contests. Oral Roberts on the road, Florida Gulf Coast. This, we expected to get the best. Nate did a tremendous job having his team prepared. The things that they did, how they guarded, they really shot the ball well today. I want to credit Montana. I thought they played a really good game. And we had to weather a lot of storms today. Atmosphere got loud. Dahlberg does what it does. And we're fortunate that we have some seasoned veterans in big moments and experienced situations. But we also have a freshman class that are fearless and don't know any better. But one of my favorite plays was Dylan Phillip, who didn't get to play in the series last year, where kind of had a fumbled pass and shot faked and took her little pull up there in a big moment, and she just makes right plays at right times, and that's what you need. You need a full team to handle these situations.
Both the times that they took the lead in the fourth quarter, you guys scored on the very next possession. What's kind of the resolve of this team to not let anything kind of rattle them when things kind of get going like that?
Yeah, well, they're super close. The chemistry, it takes work on building your chemistry. We started that during the summer. So I think that there's a trust factor there that's been built. And they definitely rely on each other, and they trust each other to make the decision. And, end of games, ball is going to find its way to Esme somehow. Mara has been super big for us. I thought KJ hit big shots for us. I thought Taylor Jansen came in, had some great minutes as well. But these are the kind of things that kind of they've steadied through our preseason schedule of preparing for it.
You had that 13-3 run in the third quarter to push it to double digits. What was going right there, and was there anything different in that span?
Yeah, I felt like our pressure, thought there was some fatigue on the other end, felt like we could try to separate ourselves, but then Montana, I thought Nate took a really smart timeout, and they really came back, got us a little bit on a sideline, baseline with press, and had some pretty impressive stops and a couple steals that were really critical. I thought that was an opportunity for us to separate, and we weren't able to do that, but definitely want to credit Montana for that.
What do you make of Montana getting 24 buckets and 24 assists? Does that tell you anything about where your defense was or their ability to?
Yeah, we know that they shoot the three ball really well, and we stretch ourselves with our press. So if we're not getting steals, then that's going to put us in some scramble modes, and we certainly didn't cause any in that first quarter. That was a very good job of them handling our pressure of taking care of the ball. Thought we did a better job in the second quarter. There was that piece in the third, but that really was the difference. Is if they win that battle in the backcourt, they got some open looks.
You mentioned Dylan a little bit ago, missing all of last year. She played 4 minutes in this game for a freshman year. Can you speak to kind of the larger impact she had, most efficient three-pointer today, and Taylor, her time playing in this game, the impact she had?
Well, like I said earlier about Dylan, she's just a steady kid that makes right plays. We've kind of given her the description of glue. She's just a glue kid. If we need her to run the one, get Esme off ball, she can run the one. If we need her to set a screen for somebody, she can set a screen for somebody. But she's going to also hit big time shots at the right time and just take right shots. She takes care of the ball extremely well. She plays off 2 feet, but she's also one of our most reliable defenders. So last year she was going to be starting for us at the one, and just didn't have the opportunity to do that. But she just continues to get better and better in so many categories, and just really proud of her. Taylor, she's just going to be relentless and fearless, and she's going to play hard. And I thought she did a really good job of just focusing on attacking the paint for us. I thought that was also the difference. We were able to get ourselves a little bit to the foul line in that second quarter. We didn't really attack the paint very well in the first. Thought Montana was winning that battle, and Taylor certainly inserted herself there really well.
What do you make of Ella's composure at the very end of the inbounds play to kind of find?
We've recruited kids with some length, and we needed length in that situation to disrupt. We put a defensive lineup in, and Ella's usually on the floor in those kinds of situations. She's one of our best defensive players, if not the best post defensive player, and she's a tremendous shot blocker. But did a really good job of making sure that we did not foul in that situation, and we just made a tough shot.
That whole thing to Waddington,
played a great game.
Seeing her in person for the first time, what did you make of her efforts?
Yeah, we've seen her in club ball, but I'd rather her stay in club ball. She's pretty good. She played great.
mentioned her a couple times for the piece and chip this year, which you did last year as more overall. Is just how much does having her steady you in those late game situations, knowing that you have somebody who can make things happen in the game that she did.
Yeah, so in the off season, we were talking about where we were headed with our defense. We felt like our defense was going to take a big step, having just more legs to it. We had a lot of people returning, but one of the areas we wanted a playmaker, somebody we could go through. We need to put points on the board, and Esme was an easy thought for that. And but more importantly, she just makes everybody else on the court better. She just has a composure about her, a calmness about her. It was a very physical game today, and I felt like she handled that extremely well. She does those things. If she needs to be off ball, she can be off ball. But at the same time, she's going to set up and make great plays.
You coached against horrible. What was it like seeing Nate on the other sideline as a head coach for the first time?
Well, I know he can coach because he was on my staff for so many years and a big part of some of our championship runs. And just think the world of Nate, and just really proud of him and want to support him. He did a great job today. Some of the adjustments, having him ready. I just joked with him I didn't have to tell him to sit down because he could do it now on that sideline because he brings a lot of energy to it. And when he was on our sideline, the officials were always giving me a hard time, just really proud and want to support him. And it was a great game today.
You mentioned that these last couple for you guys have been like tournament games. Is that what you expect now for going into the sort of second half of these conference play?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the difference with being the underdog and the team with the bullseye on your back, and we're in the situation where we know everybody's going to be coming at us, and we expected that. We prepared this team even during the summer, like with who we had returning and who we had bringing in, that we just have to make sure that we're getting better on a daily basis. You've got to go back to like your principles, trust in the process, making sure we continue to move the needle in the right direction. We certainly had some breakdowns today that we need to get better at. As teams are getting better, we need to make sure we are as well.
All right. Big Shook. Said like that?
Honestly, no, we didn't. But I think it goes to say like our length helps us in a lot of situations we're not prepared for. So I think like it played out perfectly the way it did. I think the fact that it didn't go in, our minds were focused on rebound, and Ella really grabbed that and secured it for us. So.
Is that your mindset as a team coming into this game? This is obviously one of the best arenas to play in the league, and you guys never seem to really waver. So where did the composure come from today?
Yeah, I think that Ben really preaches like it's between our ears. It's only like what matters to the five of us on the court at that time, and then our bench coming in, and just that 1-0 mentality. So again, doesn't matter who we're playing, but we want to come into each game just knowing that it's going to be a tough one.
You played 4 minutes your freshman year. You played a much more substantial play today. How validating is that for you to now be healthy and be happy with that?
Yeah, it's super rewarding, but again, like I wouldn't be able to do it without any of my teammates, like having confidence in me and me pouring it into them too. So yeah.
That's me. Of course, played here before, but it's the first time with Bobcat. Now that it's over, what do you think? And what is your approach when you go to the line at the very end?
Yeah, it's completely different. They were telling me like you're gonna feel it. I'm like, oh, okay, like I know, but when you get there, like you feel it. But it's just pride, and I wanted to make sure I did everything to get the win for Montana State and for my teammates. We're family, so anything I can do is just get that win. And then in the free throw line, just one at a time. Yeah, the first one went off, but just get the second one. And then I trust my defense. I trust my players, my teammates. So yeah.
What kind of composure would you say over against your Danny? Was there a reaction did you see from your team once kind of everyone gets hot? And kind of pulls Montana a little bit closer?
Yeah. Well, I was definitely getting some deja vu from last year. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, they shot the lights out, and down the stretch it started to feel that way. I think just knowing like we've put in the work to be here. We had a game plan, and it was obviously to limit the three. They're such an amazing three-point shooting team, so we knew our game plan, and once we started adjusting and sticking to that, we were confident that we could get the win. I don't think there was ever a moment we went in the huddle and we thought we were going to lose that game. So it's just like keeping that confidence and composure no matter what the situation, like staying level-headed.
It's two really tight games in a row now, both on the road. They come out your way. What do you hope your team takes from this stretch and your collective ability to
I think it's really important to like focus on that we're going to get everyone's best game, and that we can't really have days where we're taking it easy on each other and stuff. And so just like the preparation for each game needs to be consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just it's hard. It's winning. It's hard to win.
Yeah.
So I think just coming in a mindset of just going to practice 1-0, and I think we're all been just emphasizing that and just taking each practice if it's light, like just the little things, the small details, because it matters like in these games.
Yeah, I would agree fully. I think good teams know how to win ugly, and like that was ugly for us down the stretch. But you know, it's great because we're being put in this position now, having these 2 close games, and it felt like Boise a little bit. So being tested now, it's always great to have that. So you go into the tournament feeling confident that you can pull it a win in those kind of games.
Was there any initial assessment of the team's collective defensive performance when you see that Montana scored 24 times and had 21 assists? Does that tell you about the ability or inability to get in front of the any certain time?
I haven't really thought about it yet, honestly. Yeah.
Fighters. We're just fighters. Like anybody like wants to do anything for each other. I think we're just fighters. Like we're so competitive. If you could see our practice, like sometimes you have to relax, but it's a example of like who we are.
Esmeralda, not as many turnovers forced for you guys today, but that made you sort of work in the half court. How do you guys executed in the half court? Where did it come from with the execution of that?
Yeah, just confidence. Like we know where our best shots are. We know who's going to be there. Who's hot, like Dale, like try to get her going, get Mara, KJ. I think just confidence and just trusting the process, trusting in Ben, trusting in with one another.
Esmeralda, battling the ball in your hands on that last possession where you drew the free throws and just walking through the process of getting to the line on that possession.
Yeah, I knew we were in bonus, so it was either a mid-range if they were sagging, if they weren't, so I was like, I need to go to the free throw line, just make it hard for the refs to call it. If not, then just got to play defense, but they called it. But yeah, I think it's just be be aggressive off the screen.
Mayor, it seemed like down the stretch the team in general kind of had a cold spell offensively, but you were still kind of driving the offense. What were you seeing in the fourth quarter and kind of getting baskets when the team was still kind of having a cold spell?
Yeah, well, I felt honestly like I had a slow start today, so it was kind of I was waiting. Like I know my percentage, I know my numbers, so I know I'm due to hit shots. Obviously, same with my teammates. Like even though they're going through a cold spell, like I know they were hitting at the beginning of the game, and they were doing what we need to do to win outside of scoring as well. So I just felt like I got hot at the right time, I would say.
For any of you, what was the conversation like at halftime? Because it seemed like there was maybe a little more intensity in the third quarter on the defensive, especially for you guys.
Yeah. I don't remember now.
It was together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That crowd can get you separated really quick. Like that is an atmosphere to play in. And they do a good job of like keeping it live like throughout the game. You know, they hit a couple shots and that arena just gets louder and louder. Like when Esme was shooting those free throws, I'm like, I can't even hear what coach is calling. She's a couple meters away. So yeah, just making sure we're staying together like no matter what the circumstances were.
How much is the defensive pressure able to wear teams down over the course of the game? I mean, I thought they pressed well in the first half, and then, like Slim said, we're going to get some more turnovers with the third. Have you seen that in other games this year as well, where it just wears on them?
Yeah, I think we're deep enough to be able to shift 5 and 5 and have no drop off, you know, and that's something that we can't say the same about with a lot of other teams in the conference. So we know like maybe taking those risks in the first quarter might not pay off, but in the third and fourth, we're going to start to see those results. So.